How much do you think a leader's story is really worth? It's a tricky question, right? Is it just about their wins or their failures? Or maybe it's something more, something you find in the lessons they learned when things got tough. Well, for one man, the answer to that question starts with a very specific and pretty surprising number. 10,000 Ghanaian cedis. That's how much someone paid for the very first copy of one man's book. And get this, we're not talking about some super rare, dusty old book from 100 years ago. Nope, this was for a brand new autobiography, literally hot off the press. The book is called Leaders Don't Have to Yell, and the man behind it is James Kwesi Appiah, a true legend. A former player, a former captain, and a former coach of Ghana's national team, the Black Stars. So that begs the question, what makes his story so valuable that somebody would put down that kind of money just to be the first person to read it? All right, so to really get this, we've got to go back to where it all went down. We're talking about the book launch back on January 24th, 2020. And trust me, this wasn't just any old book signing. This was an event that basically put a price tag on a lifetime of experience. So they auction off the very first copy, and it gets snapped up by Dr. Christian Aguiaman, the CEO of Tebi Industries. But what's really interesting is the inspiration for the book itself. Appiah was looking at absolute titans of management, like Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger, and he decided he needed to document his own journey. But not just for the football world. He wanted it to be for everyone. And this quote, it just gets right to the heart of it. To really understand why his experiences are so unique, why they're so valuable, we need to rewind the clock. We need to go back to where it all started for him, on the pitch. You know, before he was a coach and way before he was an author, there was the player, a tough-as-nails left back who became an absolute legend in Ghanaian football. This is where the foundation for everything was built. And man, his playing resume is just stacked. He was a winner, plain and simple. He helped Ghana lift the Africa Cup of Nations trophy in 1982, which, by the way, is the last time they've won it. He also won the biggest prize in African club football with Asante Kotoko. Oh, and he also captained his country. See, this isn't just a list of accomplishments. It shows a deep, deep connection to the highs and lows of the sport in his country. So, after hanging up his boots, Appiah didn't walk away from the game, not by a long shot. He transitioned to the sidelines, and eventually he landed the biggest job in the country and ended up making some serious history along the way. His coaching career was a real story of two extremes. On one hand, you have this incredible, historic achievement. He became the first ever Ghanaian coach to lead the Black Stars to a FIFA World Cup. Just imagine the national pride in that moment. But then, there's the other side. The tournament in Brazil ended in disappointment. I mean, they had this amazing 2-2 draw against Germany, who went on to win the whole thing, but it wasn't enough. Ghana crashed out at the group stage. And it's right here, in this reflection, that you start to see his philosophy take shape. The intense pressure of the World Cup, those highs and those lows, all of it forged a really unique leadership style. A style that actually earned him a pretty fascinating nickname from the very players he was coaching. So think about it. How do you manage a team full of high-profile stars with massive egos? Well, if you're Kwesi Appiah, you don't raise your voice, you don't scream and shout, you become the silent killer. This nickname is everything. It's the core of his book's title. His players got it. They saw he didn't need to be loud or aggressive to command respect. His strength was quiet, his decisions were firm, and his authority was absolute. It was all about action over volume. So how did this philosophy work in practice? Well, he faced the classic problem, managing huge stars. His solution was simple, clear, non-negotiable rules. When superstar Dide Ayew missed the deadline for arriving at camp, he was dropped. No exceptions. When Sully Muntari confronted him about being substituted, he was dropped for the next crucial match. The message was unmistakable. The team is always bigger than any single player. That is the silent killer in action. And this is so crucial. The reason his story, the one valued at 10,000 cedis, is so important isn't just because of a quiet philosophy. It's because his entire career was built on breaking barriers and completely rewriting what people expected from local coaches. I mean, his career was just a series of firsts. He was the first Ghanaian coach to win gold at the All-African Games, the first to get the team to the World Cup. He's also one of only 3 people to have ever both captained and coached the national team. But beyond all the trophies, he restored an immense sense of pride to local Ghanaian coaches, proving that a leader from home could succeed at the very highest level.
Which brings us right back to the beginning. The value of Kwesi Appiah's story isn't just in the wins or losses. It's in the quiet confidence, the firm resolve, and the powerful example he set. And it leaves us with one final thought to ponder. In a world that seems to get louder and louder every single day, what can we all learn from a leader who proved you don't have to yell to be heard?